The crisis showed very clearly that the world confronts a number of global challenges. In particular, of course, at the moment, financial and economic problems. But more generally, the world faces a lot of other global challenges, whether it's epidemics or whether it's global warming or others. So what do you do when you have a global challenge? You need to have everybody around the table to provide answers, to discuss the issues, the disagreements, and where possible to come up with agreements to address these issues. So any table that does not have China, that does not have Brazil, India, and so on, contributing to the debate and the solutions simply will not be useful. And it's for that reason that the G8 had outlived its usefulness, and the G20 is certainly a very good beginning of getting the right people around the table. Priority in the first instance has to be the crisis, the economic financial crisis. And in that context, probably the most important two items that need to agree on is, number one, a joint significant stimulus for the world economy, and secondly, clearly a recapitalization and a solution for the banking problem that's worldwide. Those are the two most pressing issues. In addition, they also need to set the stage for long-term regulatory reform. They need to make sure the IMF, which is a main instrument to help not just the G20, but also the poorer developing countries, that it has adequate resources. So at least doubling and probably tripling the IMF resources will be critical. So those are sort of the key issues that need to be addressed and will be addressed. The threat of protectionism is obviously one of the biggest threats right now for the world economy, and it's a lesson we've learned from the Great Depression in the 1930s, that if you get into a downward spiral of tit-for-tat protectionism, the game is lost. So the key this time around is to realize, on the one hand, that countries are under a lot of pressure domestically to protect their citizens. On the other hand, to realize that if they follow down that route in a tit-for-tat spiral, everybody will be worse off. So part of the discussion at the G20 has to be that everybody realizes and understands that this is a common problem they face, and that they can only address it jointly.